Good morning. Uh, I will be discussing audio amplifiers. Amplifier, singular. I will discuss on how to install an audio amplifier in your cars or at home. Actually, you could do your audio amplifiers at home if you want to make the sound of your TV louder. Actually, you can do that by installing an amplifier. Okay, I will discuss the properties of an amplifier. It got terminals over here and also on the other side. The first one on this side here is the input signal. These two here is the so-called low signal input, and the other side is the high input signal. High input meaning the amplitude will be bigger, low input maybe the graph of the sound will be too small, that's why it's low input. But for this low input here, it got an adjustment over here, because if the power input is too small, even though you amplify, okay, it will not go bigger. So actually there is an adjustment over here. So for this low input here, there is an adjustment. I will go back to this two here later on. On the other side, we got the power circuit, and this portion here is the output sound, the speaker terminal. This is the power terminal, and this is the output terminal. This is for the speaker. For the power circuit, it refers to the power that you will use to power up this amplifier. Okay, I will show you the diagram. I'll go back to the low input. For the low input, it got a level adjuster. Not all amplifiers got a level adjuster, but the one I'm discussing right now got a level adjuster, meaning if the input level is too low, actually you could actually try to increase it by using this level adjuster. Level adjuster, it got enough here, wherein you will poke your screwdriver, then try to rotate this one clockwise. As you go clockwise, you are increasing the input signal. Okay? You will not make the adjustment not too loud, not too high, because it will reach the high signal input. For the low input signal, those are actually the quality sounds, okay? Those may be coming from other sources of sound, okay? Okay, I'll go back to the low input signal. So it got a plus and minus terminal over here. To connect the low input signal, actually you use an RF connector. RF connector is something like this one. This is for the plus side, and the other one will be to the negative side. Sound got only two terminals, the plus and minus. And for low input signal, the connector that we'll use is RF connector. It should be something like this. Okay? And the old times, when we try to bring out the sound from video cassette recorder, this is where this is the one we try to use to bring out that sound from the video cassette recorder going to the amplifier. This is the connecting wire. Okay? For the high input, meaning the sound you're bringing into the amplifier is a little bit high. That's why high input. It could be sound from other sound sources. It could be from some other stereo, something like that. If you will try to make it louder, you could put it on the high input. Okay? And the wires that to be used in connecting this one are these. These are speaker wires. The bigger the speaker wire, okay, the losses will be minimized, so the sound will be better, you know. These are speaker sounds. So these are the one used to connect for the high input. Okay. This is the one I am telling you. Speaker. Usually on the speaker side there are two speakers. But other amplifiers got so many speakers. It could be 6, it could be 8. It depends on what kind of amplifier you have. But the one I am discussing right now is only 2 speaker output. Okay, so it got 1 plus and minus, got 1 plus and minus. And the wires to be used are these. Okay. Let's try to discuss the power circuit, the one that will try to energize this amplifier here. Okay. For the power circuit, it got 3 terminals. It is the plus terminal, it is the REN terminal, meaning remote terminal. The equivalent of this remote terminal is the switch. It is actually the switch. That is the one you are flipping on your car when you try to hear music. This is the connection. Meaning this remote connection, the switch connection is connected to the plus. While you are not energizing the amplifier, this remote terminal, the switch, if it's not it on, of course the amplifier is not yet alive. So to bring out sound to the amplifier, you must have to put this remote terminal to the plus. You must have to energize the amplifier. Right? And the other one, the third one is the minus terminal. This is plus and minus. It came from a regulated 12-volt power supply. If you are installing your amplifier at home, you should have a regulated power supply, something like this. This is the plus, this is minus, this is regulated. It got a voltage regulator inside, it got a rectifier circuit inside, so actually the output of this is a pulsating direct current. It's almost DC. So this is to be connected to the plus and the remote terminal, and this one to the negative terminal to power up this amplifier. Okay? I want to discuss one thing on the secret of humming sound on speakers. To eliminate humming sound on speakers for amplifiers, okay? Supposing this is one speaker. Okay? To eliminate the humming sound, you must have to place a resistor in series with the plus terminal and an electrolytic capacitor also in series with the positive terminal. The purpose of this electrolytic capacitor, it will not pass a direct current going to the speaker, because actually the humming sound is actually coming from a direct current voltage. So for the DC voltage not to pass this electrolytic capacitor, we must have to place this one in series. For sound, it could pass through an electrolytic capacitor. It could pass. But for a voltage, if there is a voltage at the terminal plus and minus, and you don't place a capacitor in series with the plus, there should be a humming sound. It depends on what kind of amplifier you have, because there are other classes of amplifier in which the humming sound is nothing on the speaker, but there are some low profile amplifiers in which the sound on the speakers got a humming sound, and that humming sound is actually coming from a DC voltage at the terminal plus and minus. And to eliminate the humming sound, you must have to connect an electrolytic capacitor in series with the plus line going to the speaker. And what is the purpose of this resistor? This resistor is actually to limit the Current is actually the sound. If you try to increase the volume, you're increasing the current going to the speaker, right? But sometimes you go crazy, you make it very loud, so the current going into the speaker is too high, it will burn the speaker. So if your speaker is expensive, you will you will lose money. So to protect your speaker, you must have to connect in series to the plus terminal a resistor value, maybe 5 ohms or 10 ohms, maybe 5 watts or 10 watts to limit the current. Much more so on the so-called combo thing, on the video okay thing, okay? Because sometimes they will go crazy, they will try to increase the volume of the amplifier and the speaker is overloaded. Why overloaded? There is too much current, the sound is too strong, it will burn the speaker. To eliminate the burning of the speaker, you must have to place a resistor in series with the plus sign. So as a protection for speakers, having sound, you put an electrolytic capacitor. To prevent burning of the speakers, you put a resistor in series with the plus terminal going to the speaker. Okay? That's the secret of the humming sound on speakers when we are doing music, Because not all amplifiers got a good design. Others got a humming sound when you try to bring the output. So to prevent the humming sound, put an electrolytic capacitor on the plus side. And to prevent burning of the speakers, try to connect a resistor, maybe 5 watts or 10 watts in series with the plus sign on the plus terminal. That's to prevent the burning of the speaker and to prevent the humming sound on the speaker. That's it, guys. Okay, I will repeat it for the last time before we go. This is the high input side, the low input side. This is the speaker terminal. This is the power terminal. Actually, this one got a fuse. So just in case you overload this amplifier here, this fuse will pop out and we will protect the components inside. And what's the significance of this? This is a heatsink. Heatsink, this is where the power transistors are mounted. So if you are making sound and it's too loud, this should be very hot. So to dissipate the heat on the power transistors, they are mounted on this heatsink. So if we try to open this one, the transistors are mounted on this heatsink. Okay? That's the importance of this heatsink over here. This is heatsink to dissipate the heat of the power transistors when we are using the amplifier. Much more so if you are going crazy, if the sound is too loud, This will be very hot. Okay? That's it, guys. That's the theory of operation of an amplifier, the terminals involved in it, and how to protect the speaker when we connect to the amplifier. Put a resistor and a capacitor in series with the plus sign to eliminate the burning and to eliminate the humming sound. Okay? Okay, that's it, guys. That's the secret of an audio amplifier. Good morning, Los Angeles.